My brother said. Christmas is too costly. No kids this time. I agreed. Later, I saw his wife sharing pictures. Every cousin, every neighbor Santa hired for the night. My son pointed at the screen. Why not us? I snapped a picture of their tuition transfer receipt and sent canceled. By morning, my mom had called me 37 times. 3 weeks before Christmas, my brother Zach texted me something that didn't sit right, though I didn't say anything at the time. Hey man, this year's tight. We're keeping it low-key. No kids, just adults. Hope that's cool. No kids, just adults. From Zach. That was weird. This is the same guy who hired a snow machine last year, who imported hot chocolate from some boutique shop in Vermont because Swiss misses for people who hate their children. The same guy whose wife Melissa started planning their holiday party in August, and who asked me to split the bill on the inflatable sleigh ride. Had they rented 2 years ago. So yeah, it was weird, but I played alone, said sure. Gave a thumbs up. That was it. I didn't want to start anything. It had already been a rough year. Jonah's mom, my ex, had decided to move across the country in June, and instead of dragging Jonah through a custody mess, I let him stay with me permanently. It meant fewer vacations, longer hours, more budgeting, but it was the right move. Jonah is everything to me. So, when I told him about the party or lack of it, he just nodded. He didn't ask why. He didn't cry. He just stared at the wall like he'd seen it coming. I hated how used to disappointment he was. Still, I told myself maybe Zach really was cutting back this year. Maybe Melissa's online boutique wasn't doing well. Maybe they were finally trying to budget. That was until 2 nights before Christmas. I just come home from picking up a last-minute gift Jonah wanted to send his cousin, Zach's youngest, still thinking they might exchange something, even if the party was off. I was carrying bags through the front door when I heard Jonah say quietly from the kitchen table, "Why not us?" He didn't look up, just tapped the screen of his tablet and turned it toward me. Melissa had posted a carousel of photos on Instagram. Their house looked like a Hallmark movie set. Dozens of kids, cousins, neighbors, kids from their church. Every one of them dressed up, faces painted, candy canes in hand. Santa was there. Real beard, rented costume. I recognized it from the year I paid for it. Fake snow blanketing the driveway. Even a bouncy house in the backyard. One photo had Jonah's cousin, the one he bought the gift for, opening a massive Lego set with his name spelled in lights behind him. The caption read, "Creating magic for the best kids in the world wrap gift." Dizzy. I didn't say a word. Just stood there looking at that screen like it was a punch in the face. I knew what this was. This wasn't about money. It wasn't about cutting back. This was personal. I don't know when it started, but somewhere along the way, Zach and Melissa decided they were done, including me. Maybe because I stopped paying for things. Maybe because I wasn't shiny or fun or rich anymore. I don't know. But they didn't just cut me out. They cut out my son, a 9-year-old, and they lied to do it. Jonah went to bed without saying much. I sat in the living room staring at the dark tree we put up together. No presents underneath it yet. I'd been waiting until the 24th like always because that's when we go to Zach's and Santa would find us there. That night, I opened my email, found the tuition payment receipt I'd received earlier that week. Zach and Melissa's oldest, Emma, had just started her 2nd year at Stanford. They didn't know I was the one who paid this semester. My mom had called me crying in August, saying Zach had maxed out a few credit cards, and Emma's scholarship didn't cover enough. I said I'd handle it. $12,900 gone in an instant because I wanted to help family. I screenshotted the receipt, just that. No caption, no context. Sent it to Zach at 10:03 p.m. He read it almost instantly. I saw the read notification, but no reply, not even a question mark. By morning, I had 37 missed calls, all from my mom. Something had shifted. I could feel it. And the next part, that was when things really blew up. The first call came at 6:17 a.m. I was still asleep. By the 5th one, I turned off my ringer. By 8, my inbox was full of subject lines like, "What's going on?" and "Tyler, please call me back." At 8:45, I answered the phone. Not because I wanted to, but because I knew she'd keep calling until Christmas Eve. My mom didn't waste time. "Why would you cancel the tuition?" she asked. I asked her why Zach and Melissa lied about Christmas. Silence. Then a soft, rehearsed-sounding line about how they didn't want to overwhelm the house this year. And it wasn't personal. I told her I saw the photos that Jonah saw the photos that he asked. Why not us? With the kind of voice no parent forgets. She switched gears. Said maybe it was Melissa's idea. Maybe Zach didn't know. Said they were going to invite us last minute, but things filled up too fast. Said I shouldn't overreact. I told her I wasn't overreacting. I was done. That tuition payment gone. Let Stanford send the bill. Let Zach figure it out. Maybe Melissa could sell some of those Instagram sponsorships she's always chasing. I thought that would be the end of it, a clean break. But I underestimated just how quickly my family could switch from guilt to gaslight. By noon, Maya texted asking if I was okay, followed by a string of messages hinting that maybe I'd misunderstood everything. That Melissa was heartbroken. I thought Jonah wasn't welcome. That Zach had been trying to protect me from feeling obligated. Obligated. That word made my blood boil. No one protected me when I maxed out my own card to cover Jonah's school trip last spring. No one stopped me from covering half the bill when Melissa insisted on catering from that overpriced tapas place last Christmas. No one objected when Zach asked me to front the deposit for Emma's summer program in Italy. But now they wanted to rewrite history. No. I told Jonah we weren't going to Zach's. I told him Santa would find us here. Just the two of us. Quiet. Honest that he asked if he'd done something wrong. That's when I realized how deep this really cut. I told him the truth, that sometimes people, even family, make awful choices. And that had nothing to do with him. Later that night, a text came in from Zach. I didn't mean for it to go this way. I just thought it'd be easier without all the extras this year. Can we talk? Easier. That was their word for excluding a child who calls them uncle and aunt. A kid who made Melissa a glitter-glued birthday card in July. A kid who cried when Zach missed his school play. I didn't reply. But Jonah did something I didn't expect. He asked for my phone, opened the party picture on Instagram, and scrolled through it slowly, face by face, gift by gift, light by light. Then he said, flatly, "They act like we don't matter." I didn't have to explain anything else. He got it. And that's when I knew. There was no going back. On Christmas Eve morning, my phone lit up with notifications from the family group chat. It had been dead for weeks. Just the occasional forwarded meme from Aunt Brenda or one of Melissa's recipe links. But now it was buzzing nonstop. Melissa wrote first, "I don't appreciate the passive aggression, Tyler. You could have just talked to us like adults." Then Zach jumped in. "Things got out of hand, but you don't take it out on Emma. She's a kid. You know better." That one made me laugh, because apparently Jonah isn't a kid. Just one of the extras. Then came my mom. A paragraph so long I didn't even read it all. The beginning was guilt-tripping, the middle full of excuses, and the end basically a demand. "We need to fix this before dinner tonight." That's when I realized they still thought we were coming. Even after the party. Even after the lie. Even after I pulled the tuition money. They thought I'd fold. Show up. Smile. Play along. So I replied, "Jonah and I will not be attending. Don't worry about gifts for us. We won't be part of this anymore." Then I muted the chat. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Not Zach. Not Melissa. Emma. I almost didn't answer. But I did. She was crying. Said she didn't know anything about the party, thought we were coming, and had bought Jonah a Switch game he'd wanted. She asked if he was okay. I told her he was. I didn't give details that I wasn't about to let her carry guilt for her parents. Then she said something that completely caught me off guard. "Honestly, I don't blame you. They've been acting weird for a while. Fake. Half the time I don't even think they like each other." That stopped me cold. Emma had always been the golden daughter, Stanford, student council, the works. But now even she was cracking. Before I could respond, Melissa jumped on the call. I don't know if she'd been listening or just walked in, but suddenly her voice took over. "You are poisoning this family. You're turning your son against us, and now my daughter's in tears." I hung up. Christmas Eve night. Jonah and I made pizza from scratch and watched old cartoons. He fell asleep on the couch halfway through Home Alone. Around 11 o'clock, I placed a single gift under the tree, a custom Lego Millennium Falcon I'd found online. I'd been saving it for Christmas morning. A surprise. When I checked my phone one last time, a new message from Zach was waiting. Timestamp, 10:46 p.m. Mom's crying. Everyone's miserable. I hope you're happy. That's when it hit me. They weren't apologizing. They weren't even sorry. They were just angry I'd stopped playing my role. The provider. The fixer. The quiet, dependable backup they could lean on whenever they ran out of money or messed something up. I'd stopped playing the part, and now their script wasn't working anymore. And the worst part? They still thought it could all be patched up with one dinner, one call, one fake smile. But something had changed. And it wasn't just me. The welfare check proved that. 2 days after Melissa sent deputies to my house, I got a call from Jonah's school counselor. She asked if everything was okay at home, said someone had filed an anonymous report claiming Jonah seemed isolated and neglected that I asked who filed it. She couldn't say, but we both knew. Later, I asked Jonah if anyone had talked to him. He said a recess aide pulled him aside and asked if he was scared at home. That night, I called a lawyer. I didn't even know exactly why. I just knew I couldn't let Melissa and Zach play games with my son's life. If they were willing to lie to social services, what else were they capable of? The next day, I sent them a formal cease and desist. No contact, no drop-ins, no surprise packages or fake wellness checks. I copied my lawyer and made sure the family group chat saw it too. They went quiet. Until my mom showed up at my work out of nowhere. I was walking back from lunch, and there she was, sitting on the hood of my car, the way she used to when picking me up from high school. She didn't ask. She begged, said things had gotten out of hand, that Melissa was just emotional, Zach was under pressure, the family needed me back, that everything was falling apart without me. Then she handed me an envelope. Inside were Christmas cards, unopened, from 3 aunts, 2 cousins, even Emma again. One had a $200 gift card in it. She said it was their way of apologizing. I asked her why none of them said sorry when Jonah was the one left out. She had no answer. Then she did what I didn't expect. She cried. Not fake tears, real ones. She said she was scared that without my help with Emma's tuition, the others were panicking about the family fund, their debt, maybe even losing the house. That I didn't feel satisfied. I felt cold. For years, helping made me feel needed, important, useful, but it also made me easy to exploit. And now, when I finally stopped, the illusion cracked that I didn't want revenge anymore. I just wanted them out of our lives. I told my mom I hoped they figured it out. Jonah and I were building something honest, something that didn't include people who lied to children to protect their image. That night, we finished the Millennium Falcon together. Jonah asked if Christmas would always be just us. I said, no, it will grow, but only with people who deserve to be part of it. The welfare check, the school report, it wasn't concern. It was revenge. Melissa and Zach had crossed a line. I filed a cease and desist. No contact, no gifts, no calls. Legal consequences if they tried anything. The family group chat went silent. 3 days later, my mom showed up at my office, exhausted, not angry. She begged, saying everything was falling apart without me, handing me an envelope of Christmas cards. Wanted a gift card. Their sorry came only after they realized what losing me meant. I asked why none of them had apologized to Jonah. She didn't answer. She kept insisting we were family, that I was overreacting, that they needed me back. I told her, if your family collapses because one person stops bailing you out, it wasn't a family, it was convenience. That night, Jonah slept on the couch with a half-built falcon in his lap. He looked peaceful. For the first time in years, I felt the same. No guilt, no pressure, no fear. It had already fallen apart, and we were still okay, better than okay. The people who used us, lied to us, and twisted reality were the ones scrambling now. I didn't want revenge, I wanted peace. A couple of weeks into the new year, the family started creeping back. Aunt Brenda sent a long text about a fresh start. A cousin sent a baby video. Emma apologized. I replied politely but didn't invite conversation. Then an invitation arrived in the mail, a real card. Jonah asked if Melissa and Zach would be there. I said yes. He said, we should go anyway. I want to see if they pretend again. At the party, Melissa crouched by Jonah, acting rehearsed. But Jonah called it out. You invited everyone and even hired Santa. You just didn't want us. Zach tried to intervene. Jonah ignored him and asked if we could leave. We walked out, hand in hand. Jonah said calmly, I don't want them to change. They can be who they are. We'll be different. That night, we finished the Millennium Falcon. It became our centerpiece, a quiet trophy of a Christmas no one else would understand. I closed the joint account, removed myself from texts, and made the cease and desist permanent. Zach and Melissa still have each other. Emma deferred a semester, and my mom is trying to patch things together, but the family system, built on using some and silencing others, is exposed. Jonah and I are free. We plan birthdays, build Lego, watch Empire Strikes Back, and live without fear or guilt. I've learned family isn't obligation or sacrifice. It's honesty and care. When they decided Jonah didn't fit their picture, I made my choice. I chose him. I chose peace. I chose life without being used. That we volunteer, care for Chewy the dog, save for snow trips, and build our life together. The world didn't collapse. They're gone, and we're lighter, happier, and just getting started.